Live from Lagos, Nigeria, this is Capital Market with me, Bosin Omafa. It's Saturday, July the 15th. We welcome all of you to the show. This is how we're getting started. These are the headlines for the market week. And today, the Securities and Exchange Commission sets August the 2017 as the deadline for all capital market operators, experts and professionals to have required number of sponsored individuals and compliance officer as mandated by the Investment and Securities Act of 2017 and the rules and regulations of the Securities and Exchange Commission. That's one news in the market this weekend. Meantime, during the market week, formally ended yesterday, the Nigeria Stock Exchange lifted suspension of trading on equity assurance and sovereign trust insurance following their compliance with rules for filing of accounts and treatment of default of filing. Those two insurance firms were among the 17 that were suspended from trading their shares by the stock exchange about over a week ago. Meantime, the cement company of Northern Nigeria has issued notice of closed trading to directors and managers and other related parties of the company based in Sokoto State, Northwest Nigeria. That closed trading will be from the 14th of July on or before the 30th. That's the last day of this month for the company to release its first half 2017 financial statement. So the directors and managers of cement company of Northern Nigeria are precluded from trading the shares of the company until its financial statement for the first 6 months of 2017 are released. Meantime, oil retailer MRS Oil Nigeria PLC has notified the stock exchange of resignation of Sayu Dantata as the chairman of the company and appointment of a new chairman of MRS. That's Ms. Patrice Alberti. The new chairman of MRS Oil Nigeria was a former banker with about 20 years of experience from European banks, including BNP Paribas. Meantime, Stanbic IBTC pension ETF 40 announces 143 kobo per unit cash dividend for unit holders for the full year 2016. And part of the earnings coming through from the year which finished 6 months ago was Unilever, reporting first half of 2017 earnings per share of 55 kobo during the week. Net profit north of 2 billion naira, operating profit about 3.6 billion, and headline revenue of 22.932 billion, one of the major earnings in the current market week. Let's quiz in some of the trading week statistics for you, starting with the fixed income market of bills and bonds at the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange, and take a look at the most actively traded bonds on Friday, the last trading day of the week, the 17th March 2017, the 2037 April 18th, the March 18th 2036, another midterm paper 14th March 2024. In total, that was a very decent Friday final trading day of the week, closing the market about 30 billion naira in total. If you take a look at the treasury bills market, the market was also very active, and these are the most actively traded treasury bills. And see there, most of these were maturing August. That's in about a month from now, and that's 180.31 billion, despite the liquidity in the market after the central bank conducted rapid open market operations or treasury bills auctions in the week we just finished. Let's move on to the NESD over-the-counter market via the National Association of Securities Dealers. This is the listed securities market. That's the weekly report, 1.34% when the market finished up on Friday. And let's move on and check through the stock exchange. That was a decent market for the week, 2.46%, after the market lost 1.99% in the first week of July. We now erase that 2%, and we are still about 0.5% in the green for the month. That's going to be halfway next week. You can see the key market indicators, trading statistics there down. In total, about 20,000 transactions for the week. The most active sectors in the week, of course, topped by the banking sector, followed by the industrial goods and the oil and gas as well. So let's look at that. Let's get to talk more about the market. On the surface, market investing looks really easy and simple to retail investors, in particular during a market boom of initial public offerings or mutual funds, and generally across the different asset classes. But what might be, that might be a misplaced notion. So let's get some guidance out of Bolahan, I know, who is the head of investments at Quadros Capital, and is live here in the studios to speak to us about market investing 1.0. Good evening.
Good evening, boss.
Thanks. Let's go down the basics. 1.0. If I'm investing in the market, what do you consider as the basic market investing know-how for retail investors?
Well, thank you, Boston, for that question. I think, first of all, for every investor, you need to have an objective for investing. So you need to know why you want to invest. Are you investing for capital appreciation or income, or do you need liquidity? So that is going to inform the kind of investment you do. So over the course of my work, I've seen some people do like a mismatch of investment. Some want liquidity and they got stuck in real estate investments. So there's a mismatch. So I think first of all, you need to determine your objective. Am I investing for the long term? Am I investing for the short term? If it's short term, do I want liquidity? If it's short term, do I want capital appreciation, or do I want income? So asset classes don't behave the same. So you have money markets, you have equities, you have bonds, you have real estate. For money market, they are really short term in nature, between 0 to 365 days. And for them, their interest rate is more or less predetermined. For equities, is high risk, of course, high return as well. So there's a risk-return trade-off. But I always advise that if I invest in the equity market, you should invest for the long haul. Have an horizon of 5 years, 10 years. With that, you can be safe. So a lot of people, they invest in the equity market and they just want to invest for 1 week, 2 weeks. So you can be lucky. Of course, most times you get your fingers burnt.
Yes, let's spend just about 1 minute to clear this up. And oftentimes I've got to explain this a little bit. When you're buying stocks, as opposed to buying treasury bills or bonds, for example, perhaps with 100,000 naira, which is a local currency, does the market ensure your 100,000 naira will come back in 30 days as a capital, does it?
No, not at all. For equities, not at all.